Hello viewers, welcome to CodeForAny. Fruit markets apps inside today need to admin user inside you need to item inside the set here the price. Here possible to multiple price you need to available so unit wise like one page this price, two page this price like this need to categorize need to pricings like this managing this here the multiple price per item so need to quantity wise need to change this here the price like this need to set up here. Now we need to first of all the write down here for this data inside the making here the UI, and then after need to call this API. First of all need to globe files inside the declare this API. Now need to copy here the previously called some API, need to copy here's like here's need to copy this line of codes, need to paste this here and remove here the updates because add updates both are same, because if you same unit use then to automatically replace with here the old price you need to remove and new price sets like this need to internal logics need to work here. Now need to write down here the price list API need to write down here price list and price list add and price delete like here, and we need to set this here the first ones items add updates deletes here, and then after list need to put here and need to set this here's like so need to setting here and we need to apply this here. Now we need to save here and we need to go inside here the items. Let's share the new files and to write down here admin item eyes screen dot dots like this creates here. Now need to copy this here the add nutritions like here's, and we need to go inside here this price screen, and now need to change this here the name item price screen like here's, and we need to save here's, need to set here the price here's like this sets here's, enters here the text is the price, and we need to remove these buttons and add nutrition no needs here the list need to clean these expandables add and show these errors, and we need to remove this here the change here txt maybe name to change here price copy here, and we need to paste this here the text is empty please enter price, and we need to write down here the API calls we need to set here add updates and to write down here admin item price add like API need to calls here, and you need to pass this here the parameters you need to write down here. First of all you need to pass parameters you need to given this here the item ID already given this here, then after you need to need this here the unit ID, and we need to declare here one drop downs first of all, then after you need to set this here the amount Inside this text fields, you need to write down here txt price dot text. You need to write down here, and other codes you need to remove here. Like here, you need to set here. Now need to copy here, and you need to write down here, and we need to set this here the list unit array and another things select map optional select unit like here, and you need to set this here the conditions. If here this null will equal to null, and to returns, and to please select this here the price unit like here. Need to write down here, and we need to set this here set dot maybe set here directly unit id, and write down here the exclamatory signs for the screens, and to string need to write down here and convert into the string. Need to apply here like this sets. Now need to call another one API. We need to needs for getting here the all unit list. We need to need here paste this here. Now need to write down here the unit list API, and need to write down here admin unit list, and we need to write down here the API or gets here the code to set here unit array is equal to response objects. Set this here the key dot payload, and we need to write down here semicolons to list. Like need to replace and set states. Need to call this API if mounted. Like this, need to integrations for here for this API. Now need to put here the drop downs. Now need to check here any available drop downs internal logics. Now need to find out here this drop downs which place need to use. Need to check here item heads, and to select this here the main categories. Now need to use here this one, and we need to go against here the nutrition price screen, and we need to expand here right down here expanded like here surrounded, and we need to set this here's drop downs. Set here the array unit array, give this here the selected select unit, and also replace here's, and to write down here's set states. Inside we need to write down here the like here inside like this callings, and key names need to write down here the unit underscore name property. Need to call here display key, and hint text is need to give this like this text, and we need to maybe remove this row, maybe create here select unit like set here the titles. Need to set here, and now this is the add screens are the done put here for the price. Now again we need to go this here the item list, and need to write here the conditions for image nutritions internal logics. Need to find out here this edit copy, and we need to change here for nutrition to price like here's, and we need to set this here the are you sure make me to delete like this all are the setups here the done. And one more things need to two API need to also need years. First one is price and second one is delete. Paste this years nutrition. Need to remove here the price like years and price list. Now need to pass this here the item ID and one more things. Need to declare this here the list view on top of. So need to write down here the nutrition area to replace with here the price area. Need to put here and also if condition give this here the comma price list and we need to set this here the array this area set here price area dot length need to write down here API calling price delete need to write down here the delete spot need to pass this here the parameters price ID and item ID also need to put here both value need here item ID for this API calls and one more things initialize need to call this here the API nutrition price list and you need to semicolons now need to replace with here the API names item price list need to pass here the list inside the item ID like here's now to set this here the price list need to apply here's deletes like this and to call this here the API price list need to again calls after the call this data need to save here's and one more thing so need to go inside internals here the list view and we need to set this here the UI need to put here and this is the navigators never scrolls set here name to need to write down here the item expand here the text need to read here the columns with this height size boxed and we need to read here the column like here and set here cross axis alignment started and we need to showing this here the amounts and units like this we need to set here so need to check here the API calls unit names also need to show here the value unit unit name and maybe no needs here control Z this here this UI unit underscore name and we need to calls against this API here's put here's for this data set here the amount of this and we need to write down here the double quotes slash dollars and we need to write inside this data to string like here's and we need to remove here the edits no needs to clean here's and set this here the styles text styles set here the color t color primary text font size set here the 20 and bold font weight 700 like so need to configurations are the needs for this API calls need to putting here for this data and like this need to settings for implementations price list here, so also need to replace here done, and this add screens inside to admin item is screen, and give this here the objects we need to put here, and now need to save, and all are the declaring here done. Now need to click on edits, and we need to get this here the price list. Now need to click here, and to give this here the this price list inside, need to set this here the space, and then after need to write down here the add buttons. Like here need to go inside the price, and we need to give this here the some width space of this UI display good here sized box. Give this here the width, we need to set this here the 15. Save here and show like this here. Select this here the units. Need to not get, so need to check here the initial state because not calling here API unit list. Remove this here the parameters like here's to calls clickbacks add buttons, and to get this here the unit kg, and we need to use this here the piece, and we need to one piece need to set like this here per piece, need to give this here the $5 amounts, and click on ads, and here not reflecting for this data. Maybe check here this is not deleted item id. Back screens maybe not call here the API, that's why need to not updating, so need to back again on these edits, and show here the per piece $5 like you need to showing here. Click on here, delete nutrition id, maybe missing parameters, maybe API names not change. Admin item price delete, set here, and to click here, and deleted here item price deleted successful, you need to get this here the message. Now make sure, so need to add after add screen after the right API need to calls, because we need to replace this list for this price list. To write down here await, so since like years, and await, and now need to call here the API the price list again, so need to replace, click here, so now need to select here the kg, need to 1 kg, need to give this here the $10 price like here's, then after another price need to add here, select here the 500 grams, need to write down here the $6 like this, need to showing like this here the price, need to apply here. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections, I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day, goodbye and take care.